Hi, welcome to Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. I'm sitting out in the orchard and the berry patch, and I thought we would sit down and have a little chat. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for being here. Give me a thumbs up if you would. Thank you so much. So I was watching a video by Roots and Refuge Homestead, and Jess, who is on that channel, she did a video about AI rewriting and writing recipes and all sorts of different types of books, and we don't know if all of them are necessarily going to work or benefit us. So she started a collaboration of different YouTubers showing books that help them along the way in different areas of like homesteading, gardening, farming, cooking, you know, that kind of stuff. So I thought I would join in and show you all if it'll be helpful. Hopefully. I have had people asking me about what kind of books I do use, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you all some of the books that I read. Again, I have a lot of books, so okay. If you can get this Betty Crocker cookbook, I think is a good foundation to have in your kitchen. Now, you know, that won't be your only cookbook, but a lot of the recipes are good. They're mostly basic recipes for you to get started in your kitchen or to refer back to if you've forgotten how to do some sort of a recipe. So I have that. Let's see what's next. This book was gifted to me. It's the Foxfire book series. Was gifted to me by a family member, and I go through it quite often and use a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of old-timey stories which were written by our ancestors that learned from their ancestors on how they did things, like building a woodshed. There's recipes, good information. There's weather signs, like it'll talk about like when to plant and how to plant, how the old farmers and the old-timey people did. There's crafts, there's foods, planting by the signs, stories, all kinds about their life and their history through it, as long as like there are some photographs. There's a whole series of these books, so if you can get one or all of them, that would be great. These are very useful. And then I also got one of the Lost Ways books. You may or may not have seen these. This book has a lot of great information in it as well. At times it's got a lot of stories about the same thing as the Foxfire books, but different. It's got like different recipes for making things for survival, how to put foods up, how they did it in the 18th century, bread recipes using acorns, casseroles, shelters, and just all kinds of like how to do a poultice and all kinds of things. So that might be a really beneficial book to put in your library. Okay, so then I have Starting Seeds. This book I find very useful. It's just a basic book by Barbara W. Ellis, and it talks about starting different types of seeds and how you can do that. So having a good seed book, this one I found very useful, and I refer back to it during planting season. So it's a nice little book to have. And the reason why we're going over these books is just to give you an idea of books that different YouTube content creators use, and things that may be trusted somewhat or useful for you, just to give you ideas. Rosemary Gladstar is a very good herbal book. She has different social media sites. She has a lot of great information. She's got classes. Having one or several of her books is very beneficial because it'll help guide you if you're interested in, you know, different herbs like chamomile, plantain, aloe vera, all kinds of stuff for all kinds of different issues you may or may not be having, or your family or friends. So that's a good book. I love it. Melissa K. Norris, Handmade. She's got some recipes in here. Also on like making salves and chapsticks and things like that. These are also awesome, good books to have for reference to use for things that you may want to do. Okay, let's see. I've got a lot of books, but I didn't bring them all out. A beekeeper's book. This one that I have right here is a very good beekeeping book if you're into beekeeping or maybe helping somebody beekeep or just having the knowledge. It has good photos, good information on different things that you'll want to know about or need for beekeeping. And this book is by Kim Lehman. Okie dokie. So I also have this apple cider vinegar drinks. It has all assortments of drinks that you can do to help with different things for energy booster, just for aiding in digestion, soothing, stress fighting, all kinds of different stuff. So this I find is a very good book, although there are lots of books out on all subjects, but this one I like. And I got a mushroom book, which is geared for my area, and it's by Alexander Schwab. And it's got just different things on different types of mushrooms to identify them and know what to do with them. Mushrooms are great even if you don't like mushrooms or don't use mushrooms. If you have lots of mushrooms in your area, this would be a good book. And again, get a book that's geared towards the area that you live in. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so that book is very useful for when you're foraging. You can sell mushrooms or whatnot if you would like. Let's see. This book is an older book. It's called Back to Basics. This is good to have. It's by Abigail R. Gearing. And in this book it has some soap making recipes, just all root cellars. It has, let's see, crafts for a house and homestead, energy from wood, water, wind, sun, about vegetables, fruit and livestock, building on land, harvesting year-round, and it's got photos. It's got like, covers lots of different basic like things that you might find useful for around the house to refer back to when you need a little assistance. Okay, I'll get to my favorite book at the end. Also, I think that everybody should have a lot of children's books, and I've got a lot of different farm books that I have around for my kids, my grandkids, just fun books to inspire them to be creative, to get interested in doing, farming, cooking, crafts, whatnot. This book I really love. It's called Drop, and it's by Emily Kate Moon, and it's about a water ride like you've never experienced before. So Drop takes an adventure and you learn about the water cycle through adventure. And so this is a super cute book for kids so they can learn about that. And my favorite book, last book, I won't bore you any longer with all my books. The book I got before we got our farm is this Backyard Homesteading Guide to Raising farm animals. So this book, oh my gosh, I went through it and went through it. It's got, let me turn to the front page. This book is I think a great book to have. It's got chickens, turkeys, ducks and geese, rabbits, honeybees, goats, sheep, pigs, dairy cows, beef, and cattle. And so it's just got medical treatment, symptoms, housing, feed, water on all the animals. Of course, it doesn't cover everything that you would need to know. It's just got a lot of the basics. It's got different breeds. It doesn't have all the breeds, but it has all of the like main breeds, like the different chickens and what they do, like if they're dual purpose, or like for pigs, like you want to know if pigs are lard pig or a meat pig, because you don't want to get a pig, or maybe you do, some pigs have more fat content, too much fat, some pigs don't have any. So like, do you want a lot of fat, no fat, or in the middle? So those are things to learn. Another thing is when you're purchasing, when you're purchasing animals, here's an example, like a cow, you want to look at, like if you're going to be breeding, you want to look at like the conformation of a dairy cow and how the legs are and the udders, and it shows you like about the teats and the legs and stuff like that. So it's nice. And then it gives you a diagram of a cow and what the parts are, so you know more about the animal. So before we moved to our farm, I did a lot of studying on cows, pigs, and chickens. And the cows, what I came up with is I wanted a Dexter, because Dexter are more calm, more sweet. They learn their names, and they're dual purpose, meaning they could be geared towards a milk cow or a meat cow. But there's some books that I'd like to share with you. Go check out Roots and Refuge if you have not. It's very important that you go, and this is Juju, farm kitty. It's important that you get some good books, like good paperback books, hardbound or softbound books that you can refer to butchering, even if it's something you're not quite ready for, like say you're going to be getting a farm or you want to get a farm, maybe studying up ahead of time on some of the stuff, having the knowledge that you can learn on your own and share with somebody else who may have questions is a good idea as well. And with the times that we're going through now, and we all know that things are a little bit different than normal, it's a good idea to have books. I like books. I like having them in my hand so I can flip through it easily whenever I want to, wherever I want to. So thank you for joining me and looking at a few of my books, and I hope it gives you some ideas on some books that you might want to look at. Your libraries may have some of these books that you can just sit down and glance at. If they don't, you can also ask your library if they can get that book in. I have a little bit of a sinus cold, so I might sneeze. Anyways, whenever you are at garage sales or resale stores or thrift stores, things like that, check out the books and get multiple books on plants, like gardening and stuff like that. Maybe there's only one or two things in those books that you would benefit off of, because I've had books where somebody was building a fountain and I had books, and so they were able to utilize those to help them out. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.